You think you have a patience problem. You tell yourself you just need to be more understanding. But the truth is much darker. You do not hate low intelligence. You are terrified of the collateral damage it brings. Think about the coworker who completely ruins a project. They look at the disaster they caused. Then they shrug and say they just did not know any better. You feel a massive surge of anger. You feel guilty for being angry. Society tells us to be kind to those who do not understand. We are taught to be patient with ignorance. But your anger is actually a survival instinct. It is a highly accurate radar. That radar is telling you something crucial about the situation. The chaos in front of you is not an accident. We often confuse a lack of ability with a lack of morality. But they are completely different things. Today we need to look at why certain people drain the life out of you. We need to look at why their confusion feels so incredibly toxic. Your perception is completely accurate. You are simply starting to see the disguise. The people you think are just oblivious are actually protecting themselves. They use their lack of awareness as a shield. And they are using that shield against you. We have all been in that exact spot. You are sitting there staring at someone. You are explaining a simple concept for the 5th time. You feel your chest getting tight. You wonder if you are just a terrible, impatient person. We beat ourselves up for getting frustrated. We try to be the bigger person. We tell ourselves they mean well. But deep down, your body knows the truth. Your body knows you are being manipulated. Let us get something straight right now. There is a massive difference between being dumb and being stupid. Dumb people simply have a harder time processing complex information. Dumbness is completely harmless. A dumb person has no intention of hurting anyone. Because of that, being dumb and being genuinely kind can easily coexist. A dumb person knows they do not understand a complex society. They step back. They ask for help. They do not insist on taking the wheel. But a stupid person is a completely different story. Stupid people do not want to figure out the complexity. They actively refuse to see it. It is not that they cannot use logic. It is that they refuse to use logic. This refusal is intentional. Because if they do not understand the rules, they do not have to follow them. They can create absolute havoc and then hide behind their ignorance. They can commit terrible acts and sleep perfectly fine at night. When they get caught, they just play the innocent victim. They use the phrase, "I did not know," to completely wash their hands of any responsibility. This means that their supposed unintentional mistakes are actually a disguise. It is a disguise for a fundamental lack of morality. Dumbness is an issue of intelligence. Stupidity is an issue of morality. A dumb person cannot do a job well. A stupid person will confidently and recklessly destroy the entire operation, and they will not even flinch when it all burns down. This brings us to a massive realization. The disorder and the absolute lack of logic you see in them is not real ignorance. It is a highly effective, self-consistent performance. They have to perform this foolishness perfectly. Only by playing the fool can they cover up the damage they cause. They mask their destructive actions as simple, harmless mistakes. And the most terrifying part is that they often mask it as love. Do not make the mistake of thinking they are actively plotting against you. They are not rubbing their hands together like movie villains. They actually believe their own performance. They truly believe they are innocent and kind. They deceive themselves just as effectively as they deceive the rest of us. Let us look at how this plays out in the modern world. Think about someone who listens to 10 episodes of an investment podcast. He suddenly decides he is a financial genius. He has no real education in economics. He has no understanding of market volatility. And he can't explain to others the definition of the investment product. But he aggressively tells his family to put their savings into a certain class of asset. He refuses to read the complex company financial analysis report, and he is absolutely certain that investing is not complicated. He thinks the experts are just overcomplicating things. When the asset crashes and the family loses everything, what does he do? He does not take accountability. He throws his hands up. He says nobody could have predicted the market. He claims he was just trying to help everyone get rich. His refusal to understand the complexity caused real devastation. Or think about someone who reads exactly half of a trending nutrition book. They watch a few viral nutrition videos online. Suddenly they are a medical authority. You tell them what your actual doctor prescribed for your health condition. They immediately tell you that your doctor is wrong. They push you to drop your medication and try their new diet. They do not have the knowledge to perceive what they do not know. They are completely blind to their own blind spots. If you listen to them and end up in the hospital, or worse, and they will not apologize. They will say they were just sharing information. They will say they only wanted the best for you. This is the danger we are talking about. Stupid people are absolutely certain they know everything. They bulldoze through complex situations with total confidence. They leave a trail of destruction in their wake. And then they hand you a broom to clean it up. They protect their ego at the cost of your reality. They choose the comfort of certainty over the effort of learning. And you are the one left paying the price for their comfort. It takes an enormous amount of mental energy to deal with this type of people. You spend hours trying to reason with them. You present evidence. You show them the data. You explain the natural consequences of their actions. But your logic simply bounces off their armor of willful ignorance. You cannot use reason to pull someone out of a position they did not use reason to get into. Their stupidity is a wall they built to protect themselves from reality. And they will fiercely defend that wall. They will attack you for bringing facts into their fantasy. They will call you negative. They will say you are overthinking. They will say you do not trust or respect them. They will say that you lack the experience to understand what they'd been through and learned. They will do anything to maintain the illusion that life is simple and they are right. This is why you feel so exhausted around them. You are fighting a war on two fronts. You are battling your own cognitive dissonance of knowing the situation is wrong. Simultaneously, you are fighting the induced guilt that makes you feel wrong for calling it out. You are trying to solve a problem they actively refuse to fix. Worse, they will deliberately sabotage your efforts to solve it. Because if you actually fix the issue, you shatter their illusion. It would expose the fact that their absolute confidence is built entirely on a lie. Let's take this a step deeper. We have to look at where this hurts the most. This does not just happen with strangers or coworkers. It happens in our own homes. Most children from ordinary families know exactly what this feels like. You have likely experienced your parents doing destructive things while waving the flag of love. The lower the social environment, the more common this nightmare becomes. Think about a person who has never practiced self-discipline. A person who has never truly strived for anything. A person who is idle and refuses to learn. If they stay isolated, their ignorance only ruins their own life. In our society, that exact person can easily become a parent. And when they look down at their child, they do not feel a profound sense of responsibility. They feel a sudden rush of ultimate power. They finally have a space where they can do whatever they want. They have a captive audience. What do you think they will do with that power? What are they even capable of doing? They lack the tools to build a healthy environment. But traditional culture gives them a perfect shield. Society wraps family dynamics in this warm, untouchable sentimentality. It tells us that parents always know best. It tells us that family is always pure. Because of this cultural cover, these parents never have to admit their own failures. Facing their own incompetence would destroy their ego, making it absolutely impossible for them to clearly admit they are wrong. Therefore, they need to work incredibly hard at staying ignorant. They pretend to be completely oblivious because feigning ignorance is the only way to dodge accountability. They weaponize this performance at every stage of your development. When you are young, they crush your boundaries. They tear through your room and read your private journals because they demand total ownership of your thoughts. They force you into a career path you despise just to impress their own friends. They make terrible decisions that actively derail your potential and deeply scar your entire future. And they cover it all up by saying it is for your own good. They use that phrase to feel powerful. Then, when you grow up, the script flips. You need their support. You need them to take accountability for the mess they made. Suddenly, they play the helpless card. They shrug and say they are just incapable. They use their supposed inability to completely shirk their responsibilities. They get to be the dictator when you are small. They get to be the helpless victim when you are big. It is a perfect, unbreakable system of dodging accountability. Stupidity plus power equals a profound danger to society. And when that power is held by a parent, it destroys the child. This is why you feel such intense anger. Your anger is not directed at a lack of intelligence. You are angry at the sheer injustice of it all. So how do we stop playing this exhausting game? How do we protect our own sanity? We need a clear, practical approach. I call this the reality recognition process. Step 1 is the intent check. When someone creates chaos, stop asking if they meant to do it. Stop looking for their hidden good intentions. Look strictly at the outcome. The outcome is the only truth that matters. If the outcome consistently hurts you, their intention is irrelevant. Step 2 is the consequence shift. We are deeply conditioned to clean up the messes made by stupid people. We jump in to fix the project. We jump in to smooth over the family argument. You must stop doing this immediately. Let the glass shatter on the floor. Let them stand in the middle of their own mess. Do not offer a broom. Step 3 is the boundary drop. You stop arguing with their logic. You stop trying to provide evidence. You simply state your limit, and you walk away. You say you will not participate in this decision. You drop the rope. You let them play their game completely alone. This is not cold. It is the only way to protect your own life force. You cannot fix a problem that the other person uses as a shield. Every time you try to educate them, you are giving them exactly what they want. You are giving them attention and energy. You are validating their illusion that this is a debate. It is not a debate. It is a hostage situation. And the only way to win a hostage situation with a willfully ignorant person is to refuse to be the hostage. You step out of the room. You remove your energy from their destructive orbit. You have spent so much of your life feeling guilty for your own clarity. You have been told that your frustration makes you a bad person. You have been told to lower your standards and accommodate the chaos. But you need to see your reaction for what it really is. Your intolerance for willful ignorance is actually a sign of deep health. It means your moral compass is functioning perfectly. You recognize that playing dumb to avoid responsibility is a profound betrayal of human connection. The essence of your frustration is not impatience with low intelligence. It is a deep, fundamental hatred of evil acts. You are reacting to the injustice of people choosing comfort over truth. You are reacting to people choosing power over care. When we finally strip away the excuses, the picture becomes crystal clear. Stupidity, when used as a tool to avoid accountability, is simply evil. And your absolute refusal to accept that stupidity is a profound act of goodness. You are demanding reality. You are demanding accountability. Those demands are the foundation of a healthy life. So the next time you encounter that wall of weaponized ignorance, do not let it make you question your own sanity. Do not let their performance draw you into an endless debate. Look straight through the disguise. See the choice they are actively making. And then make your own choice to protect your peace. Because the moment you stop trying to cure their blindness, you finally get your own vision back. You stop being a participant in their play. The silence that follows their chaos can feel surprisingly heavy at first. You might even feel a strange sense of loss when the endless fighting finally stops. But this leaves us with a deeper question to ponder. Once you stop fixing their messes, what do you do with all that reclaimed energy? How do you rebuild the parts of yourself that were drained by years of managing other people's chosen ignorance? We will need to explore what happens when you finally turn that intense focus inward.